This video is going to show you how to cut and paste between Jump and Word, which is something you might want to do if there's a graphic or a table that you're interested in putting into a Word document. Now, I've got a data set open over here, which is a Jump data set, and I've got a Word file that I'm going to cut and paste into. So let's just see how this would work. So this is a data set that contains daily returns on Apple stock as reported through a percentage, and I'm just going to create a graphic of that column. So I go Analyze Distribution, and we'll look at these daily percent changes. So now here's a graph that I've created, and what I'm interested in doing is getting this graph into the Word file. Now, the tool that you're going to want to use to do that, if I just open up this window a little bit so we can see all the tools up here, you see the one that is the selection tool. I call that one the Swiss cross tool. If you choose that tool, which is what I'm going to do now, and then take it into the graph, you can see that you can highlight various areas of it. And the way that Jump is created, the graphics are created, you can think of them as rectangles inside rectangles. And so if I click a little bit outside of the graphic over here, I'm capturing the external rectangle that captures all the internal ones. And so this is how I highlight everything. Go to the edge of the graph. And you could highlight little pieces if you wanted to. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but one could. So now all of the graph is highlighted. So what I need to do now is copy it, and I do that with a right click and copy. Then go over to the Word document, and I'm going to paste it in. So I can right click and paste. And there are in fact a number of paste options that you can use. So if you go to paste up here under the menu, if we have a look at the options we have, one of them is paste special, and if you do paste special, you get to choose how this graphic gets imported to Word. So you can import it as a bitmap, that's the lowest level sort of graphic, enhanced meta file, which is sort of a more Windows specific format, or a PNG. And so typically what I choose is the enhanced meta file, and I click OK, and now the graphic is available inside of Word. Let's go back now to the Jump document, and I'll show you how you would annotate a graphic if you're interested in doing that. So I'm going to pick up on the tool that has the arrow on it. Just make the picture a little bit bigger, and actually make the box plot a bit bigger as well. And let's say I wanted to pick up a particular point in the box plot and draw everyone's attention to it, like that extreme day when Apple lost about 18% of its value. So the way that I would do that is go to an Annotate tool, and you can find that in different places depending on how your window is being configured. Here I have the icons being identified, the various tools as Jump calls them, and over here at the end with a little T on is Annotate. If you're not seeing that, you can get to the same set of menus by going Tools, clicking on it, and then you get them listed out here. So I'm going to take the Annotate tool. So when I take the Annotate tool and click inside the graphic, I can write, here is some text, and so I've got an annotation going. I could move it around, but I'll leave it like that, and I want that to point towards this particular dot here. So the way I'm going to do that is pick up the line annotator, and I'm just going to draw a line to the point that I'm interested in. So that will allow me, in a somewhat crude sense, but legitimate nonetheless, way to annotate a plot. Now if I want to grab that plot again, just to go through the process, we choose the selection tool. I click on the graphic. Let's find the right place. Now I've just got the whole graphic identified. Copy back to the document here and paste it in. And there it is, the annotated graphic. Now sometimes you want to take the numbers from the Jump output. And if we wanted to do that and pick up a table, we can do so. Let's go back to the Jump output here. Here's a table of summary statistics. I've still got the selection tool going. So I'll click on the selection tool around the summary statistics. You see how it's chosen the summary statistics. If I did a shift left click, that's a multi-select, I can grab more and more pieces of the output. But all I want to do is get those summary statistics. And then once again, it's a right click to copy, and then back into Word, right click and paste. And there are different ways you can paste it in, as in this keeps the source formatting. This is putting it in as a picture, or I can put it in as a table. And so I'm just going to use the first one, and I now have in Word an editable table that contains the summary statistics from jump. And so I can convince myself that's a table if I right click there and say, for example, borders and shading, and put a border on everything. You can see it's just a regular Word table now that you could fix up as you desired. So that's how we cut and paste between jump and Word.